In this tutorial, I'm going to show you some of the most useful Linux commands that you need when you're working with Linux. Before we start, may I ask you to please subscribe to my channel, to like, and to share. Thank you. One of the commands I'm going to show you is the ls command. This command lets you see what files and folders are inside of a directory. For instance, when I issue this command, you can see the list of files and folders that I have on here. It is that simple. Sometimes you might want to get more information about that very a certain file, for example, or folder. In that case, you can use the same command with the -l flag in order to get more information about the command, about the file or folder. For example, I might want to get more information about this very file. So this gives you more information, including when the file was created, for instance, as well as the kind of permission this user has to the file in question. Another important command is the cd command. With this command, you can traverse different folders or directories. For instance, if I wanted to go into the temp directory, for example, I could use this very command. Here I can see what I have inside that very folder or inside that very directory. From here, I can also get into a different directory. Let's see. So I could choose, for example, dev. Now, as you can see, I have moved from temp to dev directory. So this cd command is one of the most useful commands that you will come across when you are using the CLI. Now let's see what I've got here with ls command again. Now you can see that I've got entirely different kinds of files and folders inside of dev, as opposed to what I've got inside of temp. So this command is very useful. Sometimes you want to know where you are in the file system. For instance, I can use the command print working directory. That's what that pwd stands for. Now it tells me that I'm inside of the dev directory. Let's come out of this with our cd command. Let me issue this command again. Now it tells me the location where I am. You see the difference? So the print working directory is very important when you're traversing within the file system. You want to be sure exactly the position where you are. You use the pwd command. Another command that I like so much is the tree command. This command shows you the folder structure visually, like branches of a tree. For example, let's say tree. Let's just find something. Just look at that. I like this very command a lot. Here you can see the way it kind of structures how it structures the output. So from here it's easy to know where what belongs. So from here I can see what I've got inside of home. There I can see what I've got inside of this very username. Under desktop, I can see what I've got here, for example. So it's a very useful command, just like the others we have already discussed. Another important command is the make directory command. So sometimes you want to create your own directory. So far, we have been using the directory that I've got here already. But what if you wanted to use your own directory or create your own? In that case, you use the make directory command. Let's just call it, I don't know, let's say Linux tutorial. Now this is a directory. Now the directory is empty. We can just navigate into that very directory. Now you see the prompt has changed. Let's see if we got something there. There is nothing there. So this is how you can easily create a directory. Now maybe you do not want this directory anymore. Or before we get there, let us do something. So now as you can see, the directory is empty, right? So what if you wanted to populate it with something? There are so many ways. Which brings us to another very useful command called the touch command. This touch command, you can use it to create files on Linux. So as you can see, we use the make directory command to create a directory. But to create a file inside of our directory, we use the touch command. Now, let us just create a file called note.txt, for example. Now we have a file inside of our directory. If you want to check that out, it's easy. Let's list it again. Now you can see we've got another file. We've got a file inside of that directory. So the directory is no longer empty. Now, if you wanted to remove this this file that we just created, this brings us to another very useful command, because when you're using Linux all the time, you want to create more files, you want to delete some files. So in order to delete this file, you use the rm command, which stands for remove. Now what we want to remove, we want to remove this note.txt file. Let's hit enter. Now the file is gone. If you wanted to confirm, let us check again. Now the file is gone. Which brings us to another topic, or not topic, but another useful command. What if we wanted to remove the directory that we created called Linux tutorial? To do that, we have to go back using the cd command. Now, if you remember, to remove our file, we use the rm command. But now we want to delete the directory. So the command is different. To do that, you can use something a bit similar, rm, then directory. Right? So what do we want to delete? We want to delete Linux tutorial. Let's hit enter. Now Linux tutorial is gone. Another command that is very useful is when you want to move a file. For example, we can create a folder again. Let's say make directory, and let us call it Linux 1. Let us create another directory. Let's call it Linux 2. Let us populate Linux 1. To do that, we need to navigate into Linux 1. And let's create a file. If you remember, we use the command touch. Let's say note1.txt. Now we've got a file inside of this folder. Now that we populated our Linux 1 with a file, let us try and navigate into Linux 2. Now the prompt has changed, as you can, not the prompt, but the folder has changed. Now you can see we've gone into a Linux 2. Now let us create a file in Linux 2 using our touch command. Let's call it note2.txt. Now note2 also has a file. So the command I wanted to show you is a command that you could use to copy something from one position or from one folder to other folder. For example, you can use move and copy the file that we've got here, which is note2. Let us move it into Linux 1. Hit enter. Now let us navigate back to Linux 1. Let's check the content. Now, as you can see, we have moved this very file that we had inside of Linux 2 into Linux 1. So if we get back into Linux 2, what are we going to find? Let us see. And let us list it. Now, as you can see, Linux 2 is now empty because we used this move command to move the file that we had inside of Linux 2, which was note2, into Linux 1. So now Linux 2 is empty. We are going to discuss other important commands. Now let us, by the way, there was something that we discussed earlier about deleting folder. Now, we are going to try to remove, if you remember, we've got the folder or the directory Linux 1. We also got Linux 2, which is now empty. Linux 2 is empty. So let us remove Linux 1. To do that, you can use the rf command, not rf, but remove command. For example, let us try to remove Linux 1. Now it tells us that you cannot remove it because Linux 1 is empty. Or rather, Linux 1 is a directory, so you won't be able to delete it using this very command. If you remember, we use this command to delete or to delete a file earlier, but for folders, if it is a directory, you won't be able to delete it that easily. So in that case, what do? We can add a flag here, for example, something like this. You see? Now, when we try to search for it again, it tells us that there is no such file or directory. So it is important to know what to do when you receive such error message. And another important thing is that when you are using this remove command, for example, it is important to know that once you delete something in Linux machine, that thing is gone. So if this would be very important file or directory, once you delete it, it's gone. So be careful when you are trying to do this. Now, another important command that we are going to discuss is the start command. Sometimes you want to get kind of some metadata of a file, for example. Then that's the command that you want to use. For example, let's say start. I have a file that I call the pingip.py. Here you can get a lot of information about this very file. You can see the file name, you can see the size, the block, you can see the kind of access, you can see all the, even, you see this one is called birth. So to get detailed information about about a file, for example, that's the command that you want to use. There are times you want to know what kind of a file that exists. Let's say, for example, the same file that we checked earlier I wanted to know what kind of file it is. You can use the file command. Now it tells you that it's a Python script. It's ASCII text executable. So from here you can know what kind of file this is. In order, maybe you wanted to work with this file, for example, and knowing the file type would be kind of useful information in whatever you want to do. So then that's when you want to use that. We are going to also try to find information about a file. Let's say, for example, we wanted to know the base name for this very file. You know what? Let's start from here. Let's say base name, home, username, ping IP. Here you want to know the base name for a particular file from a full path. So this will give you the base name, and the base name is pingip.py. Sometimes you also want to know like a directory path. Let's use an example. Directory name. So you wanted to know the name or the name of the directory where this very file exists. When you use this very command, it's going to give you the name of the directory, how you can traverse and get to the file. That's what this very does. There is also a command called realpath, which resolves full path name. Let's say we wanted to find full path to the file pingip.py. This command will give you the full path to it. That's what it does. So these are like some of the commands that I wanted to show you, which if you keep note of them, you would find that you use on a regular basis. So I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. Can I ask you to please subscribe to my channel, to like, and to share? Thank you.